Hey, good afternoon, Villa fans. It's been a while. Missed you. Just wanted to jump on today and have a chat about Villa, see what's been going on. Obviously, yesterday we had a friendly win in Dubai against Al-Ain. Al-Ain, I think that's how you say it. I'm not too sure. 3-1 win, largely with a sort of a young team. Some first teamers in there as well. Actually, quite a few first teamers, and then mixed in with a few sort of youngsters as well. So, just wanted to have a little chat about that. Have a chat about players on international duty, how they've kind of got on yesterday, really. And then obviously looking ahead to sort of transfer talk as well. There's been a lot of kind of murmurings early on about Asensio's deal being made permanent. Could we get him down for like a really cheap fee? So just wanted to jump on. I'll give it some context. So looking at the game yesterday, it was I did manage to watch some of it. Thanks to another fellow podcast, AVFC from the stands. So thanks very much for that. Villa, comfortable kind of win. Obviously, went behind first of all. Darren Ming sort of dilling and dallying on the ball at the halfway line. Their player sort of nips in, wins the ball from him, and then it's a free kind of run on goal. Oliver Zajc, who was starting in goal for this, because obviously Emi Martinez away with Argentina, Robin Olsen away with Sweden. So Zajc, and it was lovely to see Lander Emery, Unai's son, get the last sort of 10 minutes as well. So that was a nice little touch from a family point of view in the Emery household. Zajc makes a save initially, and then the rebound is sort of just tucked away quite early doors after about sort of 10 minutes, I think that was. But Villa get back in the game. Team lineup-wise, Villa went with, I think it was Zajc in goal, Disasi at right back, Mings and Powell, two left-footers at centre-back. Left-back I believe was Kane Taylor, who I'll come on to in a moment. CDMs were Boubacar Kamara and Onana. And then Ramsey, Asensio, and one other who I couldn't identify who that player was. And then I think Jima Obalova started up front as well. So, obviously we're out without certain players because of the international call-ups, and I'm so surprised that Boubacar Kamara doesn't get called up by France. I mean, I was going to save this for later, but I feel as though, France lost 2-0 yesterday to Croatia, who have like almost a 40-year-old Modric in there, and Ivan Perisic, who's also around 40 years old. And looking at France's midfield, Rabiot, Guendouzi, and who's the other one? Tchouameni, with a 3 in midfield for France. You're telling me that Boubacar Kamara isn't better than them? I mean, Tchouameni is probably the closest one, but if you gave me a straight choice, I'd pick Boubacar Kamara. So why he's not getting a call up for the French team, don't know. Not my problem, to be fair. Couldn't care, but be nice for him. But hopefully, he'll get getting more recognition from the new French manager when Deschamps does leave. But anyway, that's just a bit of a side issue there. But yeah, I was just shocked to see that the France team were losing, and their midfield was Rabiot, Guendouzi, and Tchouameni, and I was like, yeah, it definitely needs Boubacar Kamara in there because he's much better than all of them. So Villa down 1-0, equalise. Were lovely lofted pass from Boubacar Kamara, finding Marco Asensio into the box, almost on the edge of the 6-yard box, and he hits a superb first-time volley, which just blasts into the net. The keeper had no chance. It was a lovely finish. And if you watch some of the training videos from the Dubai trip, there's one going around with Asensio where he brings the ball down beautifully with his heel or the side of his foot, and then manages to sort of scoop it up a little bit and then hit the volley in. I know it's only training and it's that's totally different to match situations, but he kind of repeated the feat there. So it was excellent to see. Asensio scores again. Water is wet and all that sort of stuff. So, he's just scoring. And then, Villa take a 2-1 lead as well. Again, the magic man Asensio around the set piece manages to fly a lovely ball, which, it just chips it over the wall, and it just sort of, catches everyone by surprise, I suppose. And then Disasi is literally just running onto it and has a faint touch before the keeper gets there, and it ends up just trickling over the line for 2-1. So Disasi getting his sort of name on the score sheet, and I think this is probably the goal that they were celebrating here. So that makes it 2-1. And then 3-1 soon after, just before half-time. Nice little move, actually. I think Ramsey plays a ball into Kane Taylor, who's bursting into the box from left back. And I tell you what, it's a lovely, low, hard finish from Kane Taylor. I've not seen much of this guy. As far as I'm aware, the left back from the academy was Travis Patterson. But I'm not sure why he wasn't on this trip, or has he been? I think he's been loaned out, actually. So I'm not probably why. But Kane Taylor, I'm not sure where he's come from. Like, do we get him from another academy? Is he homegrown? And but he looks physically like a big kind of unit. Kind of looks like a little bit like Ollie Watkins. But yeah, lovely left-footed finish, which found kind of the bottom corner. Lots of power behind it, and 3-1 to Villa at half time. The second half was obviously, this was always going to be a fitness exercise. It was the heat was playing, making the game difficult. Onana had a good run and blazed one over the bar, just about. A couple of other little chances here and there, but nothing really noteworthy. And yeah, it was just a nice exercise in the sun, warm weather. Nice to see all the players getting together there as well. Obviously, most of the players away from international duty, but it gave. We still weren't strong with the lineup. I think we weren't as strong as we could. And it's good to see Powell getting some extra minutes into his legs. Obviously, Mings continuing that recovery as well. We saw Kamara. Obviously, he's still coming back from his injury and he did well. Onana as well, who we haven't seen on the pitch. Not sure where Ross Barkley is. I didn't see him in any of the training videos. Didn't see him come on the pitch either. There was a few academy boys that did come on. I think Borland came on. He looked quite neat and tidy in midfield. And yeah, there were just a few other ones that were, it was a good performance. It was nice and easy. It obviously doesn't mean anything, but in the grand scheme of things, it's just minutes into the legs and, all the prep work for the Preston game, really. And, it's all good doing training all the time, but having a little match at the end of it to wrap up the tour is a nice way to do that. And yeah, Lander Emery getting a few minutes at the end was a nice little touch there, and proud dad moment for Unai in the stands there, watching his son, donning the colours of Villa. And he made one good save. I suppose he came to claim a cross, which is quite high, but he managed to hold it and keep it. So let's see. But yeah, moving on to the international duties. I've said France. We saw Luca Digne playing for France at left back. Had a good game by all accounts. Created 4 opportunities for them. But I was just surprised, given the quality that they've got up front, Mbappe, Dembele, and Kolo Muani up front, that they couldn't beat or get a goal against Croatia. Not sure how serious the players were taking it, but it's a competitive kind of game in the Nations League. So you think they would want to win, but it just seemed... Yeah, the midfield looked quite poor for France, if I'm being honest. So I didn't watch too much of the game, just brief highlights. I didn't watch it over and over. But Luca Digne playing at left back seems to be getting into the squad there and doing well and cementing his place at left back over the recent kind of months, really. So that's good. But it'd be nice to see Boubacar Kamara getting a call up at some point soon. Youri Tielemans also on the losing side for Belgium. I think he picked up a yellow card as well in the game against was it Ukraine that they lost to in the end? I think it was 3-1 in the end as well to Ukraine. But yeah, Belgium again, just that golden generation seems to have gone a long time ago. De Bruyne is nowhere near the player he was before, and they haven't got the necessary quality players coming through. I mean, Lukaku was there and he did score the goal for them and captained them as well. But Tielemans, he played all right as well. He was one of those players that had the most pass completion. I think he did like 93%. And then John McGinn for Scotland winning in Greece. Scott McTominay with a penalty. I think it was a controversial one, but they got the penalty, scored it. McGinn was again played, I think, most of the game, and again had a really good 90 minutes there. I think good pass completion rate, good dribbles, good tackles. He's obviously a very important player for them, and he's done really well for them. So yeah, he managed to get on the pitch. Emi Martinez, not too sure whether he got on, if Argentina have played yet, or is that tonight? Not too sure. Same goes for Robin Olsen. I think that might be tonight as well for him, but he's with Sweden. And Sweden have got some decent strikers now. I was looking at their sort of squad. They've got Isak and that Gyökeres. looking fairly decent for them. And I remember back over the years, I've obviously had Ibrahimovic, Henrik Larsson. Before that, if you guys remember, Thomas Brolin and Martin Dahlin and Kenneth Anderson. So the Swedes are looking all right at the moment in the attacking part of things. It's just whether they can get it together in defence and midfield. But if you've got Isak and Gyökeres as a front two, and you can get that functioning, decent pairing up front for them. Robin Olsen, I think he's playing tonight for them. So we'll have a look at that. Again, Pau Torres as well, not getting in the Spain team. I think Spain lost to it wasn't Italy. Who did they lose to? But they lost Holland. I think it was Holland. Yeah, I think Spain lost to Holland. And Pau Torres not getting a call up. I know he's only just coming back from injury, and that's probably one of the reasons why. But he wasn't obviously in the squad either, was he, for the Euros? So for one reason or another, Spain don't really fancy Pau Torres. You know, they must have a heck of a centre-back, or heck of a left-sided centre-back if he's not getting in the team. I'm not sure who it is, but yeah, Pau Torres for me definitely deserves a call up. Daniel Marlon, he was on the bench for Holland in this game. I'm not sure if he got on the pitch or not. I'll have to double check that. But you know, Ian Martson as well. I think Ian Martson got called up to the 21s, even though I think he's older than 21. I'm sure he is. But he got called up to the under 21s of Holland. Daniel Marlon in the full squad. I think Marlon, he definitely needs minutes. I think Preston maybe might be the time for him to play, seeing as he won't be eligible for the PSG games. So Marlon probably will get game time there. Leon Bailey's obviously with Jamaica. I saw him singing on sort of his Instagram or something. So I'm not sure if they're playing tonight or not, or have played overnight. But Leon Bailey with the Jamaica team as well. Rashford obviously with England tonight against Albania. Morgan Rogers there. Ezri Konsa's there. So that's the three kind of Villa players that are there. So it'd be interesting to see the lineup tonight. If Rashford is playing and Rogers is playing, then I'll definitely be watching that more closely and report back on how they get on. But yeah, it'd be interesting to see Thomas Tuchel's kind of first game. I heard that he's dropped Morgan Gibbs-White for tonight's game. He's out of the squad. He had to drop 3 players. I think it was Gibbs-White, Ramsdale, and Konsa. I mean, what was the point of calling him up if you're just going to drop them now? Like, give him a couple of days training. Morgan Gibbs-White has been brilliant. How he's not got in the squad and Jordan Henderson or other players have, he's been sensational for Nottingham Forest and their captain as well. So don't understand the logic behind that one. But hey, there you go. But yeah, so transfer news and talk as well. Obviously, Asensio is the big one. Looks like he's only got a year to go on his PSG contract. They're very willing to let him go. And letting him go at like 15 million. I'm not sure if this was something that was agreed before we got him in. Like if we could make the deal permanent at 15. But if that's the case, that's a heck of a deal. Just got to sort out obviously his wages and stuff. But 15 million for Asensio, I think it's 29. Is 7 goals or 8 goals if you include yesterday's. It's been a really, really good signing, taking everyone by surprise. I mean, when him and Rashford signed at the same sort of time, all the focus fell on Marcus Rashford, really, and Asensio kind of went under the radar a little bit. But, Asensio has definitely stepped up to be the main man. His link-up play with Rashford has been sensational. Do you know what I mean? Just having 2 players of that elite quality linking up has really given us that kind of X factor. And, I'm looking forward to the PSG game now. But yeah, it'd be lovely to see how we get on against them. But Asensio, 15 million. If that's the deal, sign him up. Disasi doesn't look like he has a future at Chelsea. They're signing all these youngsters, Giovanni Guenda and another guy from Sporting Lisbon. So it looks like Disasi could be available. And obviously he got on the score sheet yesterday. He's done not much wrong at Villa since he signed. He's good at centre-back option. He can play at right-back. And I prefer him doing that than someone like Ezri Konsa. So depending on what the deal is and how much the fee is, he could be a player that we look to bring in on a permanent deal in the summer as well. But, this is what these loan signings are all about. You get a chance to look at them. Do they fit in well into the team? Do they give you options? And you'd have to say Disasi and Asensio are tick. Yes. With Rashford, Obviously, the biggest thing with him, we've got this 40 million option on him, but it's obviously going to be the humongous wages that he's on. And how do we work around that? And does he want to stay at Villa? Is he using it as a springboard? He's got back into the England team off the back of his performances. Is he going back to United and looking to, rekindle his career there? Is he looking at places like Barcelona or somewhere else? Or can he see his long-term future at Villa? But if he does, he's going to have to take a drop in salary, because I can't see us going anywhere near the sort of 300k mark that he's on now. But that's one for the summer, and see how that goes. But let's just enjoy him while he's here. Same goes for Asensio, because he'll be on big wages as well. Let's just enjoy him while they're here. We've got, we haven't got that many games to go, but we've got big games. Quarter final of the FA Cup, quarter final of the Champions League. Still fighting for a Champions League place, if possible, or Europa League, perhaps in the league. So, there's still a lot to play for, and I've got a feeling the squad that we've got now, we're in a good place. We need to step up, concentrate. Don't take Preston for granted, for example. Let's go there and get the job done. Let's get that semi-final trip booked in at Wembley. And then who knows? Who knows after that where you can take it. And then that form and that feel-good factor and that momentum just builds. And, momentum and confidence in football is massive, massive. And if we can just get those sorts of, semi-finals booked in, who knows what we could do against Paris Saint-Germain. If we can go to Paris and come away with a respectable result, even if it's trailing by a goal, and bring it back to Villa Park with the crowd and the noise and the atmosphere behind us, who knows what can happen at Villa Park. I think the important thing is to stay in the tie, and to look at the tie as 180 minutes, not just a 90-minute game. We've got to manage it well. It's, there might be times in Paris where we need to run down the clock, where we need to kind of a little bit of take our time on certain things and stay in the game. It wouldn't surprise me if Emery went down that kind of route. Like almost the first half against Bruges, I know nobody liked it, but we weren't the ones that had to score. We had to wait for Bruges to sort of come on to us and then exploit gaps. It might be men behind the ball kind of first leg and see what we get from counter-attacks and set pieces, but just stay in the game and bring it back to Villa Park with a chance. That's what my thoughts are anyway. But anyway, guys, I don't want to ramble on too much. I just wanted to jump on and give my thoughts on, yesterday's friendly win, international transfer talk. But guys, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Who should we be looking at in the summer? Is it too early to have a look at that? What do you think about the loan players that we've got? Daniel Marlon, obviously not getting a lot of game time. What's the thinking there? Kostin Nedeljkovic looks like he's going to be going to RB Leipzig on a permanent, but we've got Andres Garcia as that backup right back now, and Disasi can play there as well at the moment. So is he going to be a huge loss? I thought he looked pretty good when he first came in, but doesn't look like it's going to happen. So yeah, guys, let me know your thoughts. Like, subscribe to the channel. We are looking to grow. We're on the road to 500 subscribers. So do smash a like, do smash a comment, do smash a subscribe if you haven't already, and join me on the next video. I'll be watching the England game tonight. Hopefully Morgan Rogers, Rashford and Konsa get on the pitch, do well, and I'll report back on their performances maybe at some point tomorrow. But until then, Villa fans, enjoy your Friday. Up the mighty Villa. Bye-bye.